Okay, so this piece is called "Why Did You Come Here, Mom?" Why did you come here, Mom? This is the question I asked my mom. Why did you leave India and come here to Canada? India is so beautiful. It is hot, it has sunny weather, day after day of sun, no cloudy and gloomy winters, vitamin D, 365 days of the year. It is clean. Actually, it's not that clean. Well, with all those cows walking around Calcutta, New Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, and every city, every town, every village, the cow dung might not be so beautiful, but it's definitely useful. The rest of India, beautiful. That glorious white marble, elegantly designed Taj Mahal, one of the most beautiful monuments and an ode to love. Love that has stood the test of time for the world to ponder. Those Bengal tigers, the beaches of Goa, the blue city, the pink city, those incredible ancient cities of Rajasthan, the winding waters of Kerala, the towering mountains in the Himalayas. As I looked into my mom's eyes, I asked her the one question that was deep in my heart. Why? Why did you leave behind your family, your parents, your brothers, and your sisters, your home, your sense of safety and security? Why? My mom looked me straight in the eyes with love in her heart and said, I did it for you, Ricky. I did it for your future, for your kids' future, for your kids' future. This is my legacy. I did it for you. This is the common story of all immigrants, leaving everything behind with one singular purpose, one unwavering hope, one destination, a new home. It can be summarized in one word. That word is better. A better future, better jobs, better money, better opportunities, a better lifestyle. So why do I stay here? For the same reason that my mom came here. For my kids, they are my future. For my grandkids, well, I'm not really that old yet. My kids' will have the same word that my mother gave me. That word is better. So why did you come here, Mom? For you, my child, Ricky. And why do you stay here, Ricky? For you, my children, Rianne, Ryan, Renzo. Okay, that's it.
The recording has stopped.
You're muted.
Thank you. What kind of feedback are you looking for?
Oh, anything. This was just kind of spur of the moment I decided to share. So, yeah, because I haven't got feedback on this one. So just saying anything, any reflections, insights, whatever. Any ways to improve it.
I guess where I'm trying to I'm trying to read through this and see if there's like a clear takeaway message for readers, and I'm not certain I'm landing on one. Is there a central idea you want readers to have?
Yeah, I think there was a few when I wrote this. This was for like a writing group I was part of, and it was just a prompt. It was like so. Then I wrote this for that. But in terms of for the reader, I think the connection between mother and the son, right? That kind of connection. I was trying to convey that, and also kind of the immigrant story, right? Like people can kind of relate to immigrants coming and why they come. And it's kind of autobiographical. It is not kind of. It is autobiographical. So it's kind of like I was trying to get my story to connect with other people's immigrant stories and their own moms and stuff like that. So that those will probably be the themes. Yeah, and also the legacy between parents to children to their children, right?
Right.
Yeah, those are the themes.
Would you want to expand it at all?
I think so. I mean, I have so many kind of stories that I could probably work on it to deepen it. Yeah.
Because I feel like when you start talking about the cow dung and stuff like that, that's when it starts to get like realer. You know what I mean? Because it's unique to your experience, perhaps, or the rest could apply to sort of anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling is that there's like a kind of an idea here that's more meant to be um, universal. And I think that that's done at the cost of being particular. Like we don't necessarily know much about you in this story or your mom, or what it is you have against being in Canada versus what your mom sacrificed to, like, you kind of like get hints of that, but I think that could be really developed, and it could have a bit more of a punch if we see your mom a little clearer, see her beyond being an immigrant, but who is she to you, and like, was this a sacrifice to her for her? Those kind of things could be, I think, a lot clearer. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lot longer, just more precise in what you reveal about your mom, and yourself, your feelings about being in Canada versus, like, in asking this, were you wishing that you were still, like, your family did stay in India, that kind of thing. The other thing, I would really minimize the all caps.
Okay.
Unless this is just going to be a read piece, like, if you're going to be always reading it, but just as, like, visually reading it, all caps registers as yelling. And so it really changes the tone. Like, when you just read it out loud, it's like, it's got very nice, but looking at it on a page, it's just like, it's like screaming, money is and oh, to love, and you really don't want that. Yeah, I think it could be a really elegant piece.
Awesome. Thanks. Really good feedback. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I would agree with Josh.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how it kind of let me feel. It's just sort of expressing. It seemed to be a child's, unless it's kind of a child's recollection, right? Of talking to a mother, or
more an adult. I think it was a conversation, and an adult child would have, an adult child probably doesn't ask the question to his mom, so it's kind of trying to, like, portray that, like, the unasked questions and the answers that maybe immigrant children would want to know, those kind of things. Yeah, it's kind of alluding to adult children.
Yeah, it seems to be, how would I say, like, one of those stories where it's breaking this concept to somebody, and it's breaking a very simple concept, and it's like, hey, why do we do this? And this was a certain situation, and it was really nice. It was really nice, but, like, let me tell you, it kind of excites me. I guess when you say the word is better, that's like, it really excites me, and it goes, okay, it is necessary, it is good, it's let's go on this big adventure to something better. And I think I felt the real hopeful energy in that piece of writing. It's just every immigrant, I mean, this is the common story of all immigrants, is this sweeping narrative. I don't know if that's entirely true for all immigrants, but I would say it's a very sweeping, like, the emotion kind of captures me. So I just wanted to say that.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
I have a different take. I'm about the word better. I'm wondering if there's a better word. Because it feels a bit, to me, the word, better is, picking up your whole life and moving halfway across the world is massive. And better seems, like, well, I don't know. This batch of rice I made is better than the first. You know what I mean? It's like there are degrees of better that aren't as immense as picking up and moving halfway, all halfway across the world with your family. And that, I just think there's something more you could say about it than better.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you just need to drill down into more detail. What was life like there, and what did you expect and or get when you came here, or what did your mom expect and or get? I mean, my parents were immigrants from Holland, and I know they went through hell when they arrived here. I mean, life there probably wasn't that good anyway. I wasn't good there either because they lived through the occupation and the German occupation and stuff. So those are your children, Rianne, Ryan, and Renzo.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Awesome. You love your family a lot.
Yeah, I like to write about kind of family issue stuff. Yep.
This piece is on a blog, or you said it's just something you wrote in
Yeah,
response
it was just I had it on online, but I haven't. I didn't. I think I'm gonna write some kind of memoir. So this is like one memoir, right? So I'm kind of working on that kind of memoirs element.
You mentioned something about you asked her a question that people don't something about people don't talk about this. Is that your experience, that people didn't want to talk about why they came here? Or?
I think there's kind of like a struggle between the immigrants and the immigrants' children. So like a lot of, I mean, obviously Vancouver is full of immigrants, right? Like the Chinese and the Indians and Filipinos, etc. And I think there's a disconnect between the parents and the children, and the children have become more westernized and Canadian, and like the tension and values and all that. So I think those things aren't, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I think in general they're not talked about within the family unit as much. Like I might share about my struggles as a child of immigrants with my friends or with others, but not necessarily with my parents. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk about something that's maybe not as overt and overtly talked about. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like for example, with you, Malcolm, you said your parents were from immigrants from Holland. I don't know if you talk to them about the immigrant experience.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Not at all.
But you'll talk to us,
Nothing.
right? Exactly. So I think that's kind of common. That's why I felt it'd be good to write about it, kind of how it look, that conversation will look like. Like if you wrote about it from, you talking like as a fiction piece.
Asking my...
Yeah. But there's truth to it, but it's kind of like you're imagining what the answers would be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly, because my parents didn't... I mean, I know a little more now, like, much later in life, little bits and pieces have sifted through about why they left and what it was like. But yeah, growing up, they didn't talk about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Did you write a whole book about it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you write a whole book about being the child of an immigrant or immigrant parents?
Well, yeah. Do the wrong thing is kind of about, I guess, about being, about being the child of immigrants. Yeah, I think you're right about like the parents. I think immigrants do. I mean, my parents were really religious, and I think that's what happens when immigrants come to a different country. What you said about they glom onto their traditions, maybe stronger than they would have if they'd stayed in the country, because because there's that break, and they're, I guess, holding on, and everything else is new and different and hard to navigate.
Yeah, interesting thought on that. It's like like terrorist recruiters actually find it's easier to radicalize people like Muslims in Western countries than in a lot of Middle Eastern countries, because of that kind of isolation. And it's just in general, it's easier to radicalize people who feel very isolated and cut off and differentiated from the larger culture.
That's interesting. I mean, I've heard that about Surrey, that that Surrey is more East Indian than India,
Yeah.
as in people go on. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that they're stricter with their traditions and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you good, Ricky? Do you want more feedback or?
No, I really appreciate it. It was very spontaneously I decided to share, so I really appreciate everyone's feedback. Thank you so much.
Glad you did.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely.